and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Absolutely free. That's right, folks. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, July 15th. Thank you for tuning in. And if you could, go check out MyPillow.com. Look at all the great products, American made, that they have to offer you, and use promo code Oreo. You'll get a substantial discount, and you'll also be helping out the platform as well. As I said, happy Tuesday, folks. Hope you're all doing well. I'm going to jump into the comments right now. We're going to talk about some things today. Trina is in the house. Good morning, Trina. It's still morning here on the left coast. C. Marcia, how are you doing, C. Marcia? Nola Bar's in the house. Hello, Nola. Oh, the Uncle Bill, he made it. He made it. Becky Boo, how are you? Who else we got in here? JH Candy Bar. Cade, Texas is rolling along. Thank you, Cade, for tuning in. Let's see. Microtaz sitting there at work right now, I'm sure, paying those taxes so Gavin can give them to illegals. Let's see who else we have. Bunny Lady, hello, hello. Texas Bigfoot. Let me get down to the bottom here. B. Norton, Melissa, Darla. If you don't have a picture, refresh. Hold on. Why did it do that? Let me see something. This thing's driving me insane. Let's do that. Do that. Why is it stuck on there? Oh, I know why. There we go. Every time I reset this, we didn't have a camera when I started. I gotta iron some stuff out, but we are back. Thank you for tuning in. Rob Wallace jumping in the house. Deb V, thank you guys. So I don't know if you guys seen the news yesterday. They had some flooding going on over there in New York and New Jersey. There were some pretty interesting pictures coming out of the area. Check this one out. This is New York City. Hit this and change this over and bring it up on the screen for you. Check that That's some rain right there. That's some flooding, not rain, but that's some flooding. And then we had this one. A couple of videos came out from in the subway. This is from CBS News. It says video from New York City's 28th Street station in Chelsea shows water gushing from a drain, completely flooding the subway platform on Monday as the drainage system became overwhelmed by torrential rain. The water was seen seeping into the subway cars with passengers crouching on seats to avoid it. The New York City sewer system, the stormwater system, accommodates about 1.5 to 1.75 an hour, the MTA chair and CEO said. Last night, in 1 hour, we had well over 2 inches of rain. So this is what it looks like when they back up. I think I've been in this exact location before.
No, he shouldn't. He should get out of the station.
You see it?
How many agree with me? How many agree with me right now? Less money on illegals and more money for your flooding infrastructure. Just a thought, maybe just a comment, but we know how much New York City has spent on illegal aliens. Is this the same one here? This is a different one here. Take a look at this one. You can see people in the subway. Now, I don't know. I use the subway when I go to New York. We don't use any mass transit here in Central California. It's not effective. You get somewhere in a car much easier, much quicker. And I get it. There's some areas like when we went to DC last time, it's easy to use their transit systems. But I could imagine someone who is traveling to New York, let's just say for work, and you get on the subway and you see this thing flooding. It's like a horror film. I'm sure you're freaking out because you're like, we're underground. We're going to drown right here. Take a look at this. I would be a little freaked out.
No, he shouldn't. He should get out of the station.
That should stop when you get home. Man, that's something else right there. It also happened in New Jersey. I've seen some video in New Jersey as well. I think that's what the next shot is. This was New Providence, New A little clip here. Take a look at that. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun at all, especially for all those businesses, uh, all those people trying to get home. Old Uncle Bill gifted a subscription. Thank you so much, Old Uncle Bill. Child of God, give Old Uncle Bill a shout out. Thank you, Old Uncle Bill, for that, and thank you for everybody who supports us. We are 100% viewer funded. Your donations is what makes us kind of stay on the air, be able to travel, do what we do. And we want to say thank you. He gifted another one. Check that out. Check that out, Old Uncle Bill. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Excuse me. So this morning, when I was working on the show, one of the things that popped up is that there was a lockdown at the White House on the front lawn. That's where all the media gathers, where they have the media tents. Let me show you this right here.
Press briefing room. This area is closed. Press briefing room.
That was them getting ready to get inside the press briefing room. Secret Service was seen going around right here, telling everybody in the media tents that they had to get over there. Let me put this up on the screen for you here.
Press briefing room. This area is closed. Press briefing room.
Are you able to say what's going on?
Right now, we have some first Yes.
So, and when I was looking, it looks like I seen something else here when I was pulling it up, and it says press at the White House has been evacuated by the Secret Service, and the front lawn has been locked down after an object was thrown over the fence. So it's completely precautionary measures, but they have to take every critical measure they can to protect those people. We know all the attacks that people want to do against President Trump. Says at this time, the press at the White House lawn has been evacuated by Secret Service to the briefing room, and the north lawn has been locked down. This follows report that an object, possibly a cell phone, was thrown over the fence onto the north lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C. Authorities are inspecting the object as a precautionary measure against the potential threats. This is still a developing situation. Interesting stuff there. Again, we talked, was it yesterday, the $40 million bounty on Trump's head that is from some Iranian. It's on a website. It's literally a crowdfunding website as to kill President Trump, wanted dead or alive type stuff. And so hopefully things simmer down. I don't think they're going to simmer down. We're going to talk about it a little bit towards the immigration part of the show. But what you are seeing right now, one thing I noticed, is they're trying to bring back the race card as much as they can. I think you'll hear it a couple times in this show. And last night, I was reading some articles about some different congressmen, congresswomen, senators, and excuse me. My allergies have been bugging me today. My eyes feel like, but they want to revive it. They're giving CPR to racism is what they want to do. And actually, we're going to also show you the one thing that we do see out and blatant, even by legacy media, the failed and lying legacy media, is how racist they are. Especially if you're a white guy, man. If you're a white guy like me, leftists don't like you. Even though what's amazing is it's white people, liberal white people, that are carrying the torch for the Democrats, the woke white folks that are destroying this country. And when they hear CNN say, well, we're just going to dismiss you because you're white, they're like, oh, yay, dismiss it. Like, you're dismissing yourself there, fool. Take a listen to this. Speaking of racism, take a listen to Ana Navarro. I love the folks on CNN because I'll be honest, if you're having a bad day, understand that you can't be as miserable as the folks like on CNN, the folks on The View. It's just not possible. It's not possible.
Also, I want to respond to you saying that I was hyperbolic when I talked about a reign of terror.
Because that is hyperbolic.
No, it might be hyperbolic for you as a white man.
Oh.
For you as a white man. For you as a white man. Listen to this one more time.
Also, I want to respond to you saying that I was hyperbolic when I talked about a reign of terror.
Because that is hyperbolic.
No, it might be hyperbolic for you as a white man.
Oh, okay.
It's certainly
So
not hyperbolic for me as a Latino. No, I'm not being racist.
It's incredible to dismiss my opinion for being a white
No,
man.
I'm not dismissing your opinion. I am telling you that what the Latino community, the brown community in America.
Speak in one voice.
Okay, well, let me speak with my voice. I mean, you said I was being hyperbolic. Let me respond.
Sure.
I'm not. You being a white man as an insult.
When you invoke it to dismiss my
being
opinion,
a white man as an insult.
When you invoke it,
are you? Do you think?
She won't let him talk because he's right, and he's calling her out. And I'm glad. Excuse me. I'm glad he just didn't sit there and take it.
Do you think Latinos are living under circumstances that other people may not be right now in this country?
We're about to have a whole conversation about that very thing. But I just want to make a point that, Brad, all she's saying is that her view of the situation is different from yours. I don't think that's an insult.
She basically said, I'm wrong because I'm a white man.
She just said, I see it differently from you, which is not an insult. It's not, and it's also not a racial insult.
It's also not an explanation.
Man, I promise you, she wouldn't be saying that same thing if somebody up there was white and there was somebody else that was black. Oh, hell no. We got to cut to commercial. And I love how people like Ana Navarro talk, and they represent every Latino. I forgot to mention this yesterday. On my lunch, I went to the gym, and I had my shirt that you can buy at the Oreo Express. It says "More ice, please," and in the center is the ice cube with the Donald Trump hair. And I wear that shirt quite a bit. I love that shirt, especially right now with all the ice raids that are going on. And what I found interesting is nobody has, like, when I go to the gym, I live in a conservative area, but nobody's ever saying, I wear political shirts every day that I'm at the gym. And I'm walking over to the free weight section, and this girl goes, "That's douche." And I just start laughing. And I had to take a second look because, of course, I don't know if what nationality she was. I wouldn't say Hispanic, but not as light-skinned as a white person, if you will. And I look back like this, and she has her blue hair on the back. And I was like, that's just great. I don't know if she turned around to see if I had a reaction, but here's this Mexican guy working out, and he's all, "Bro, love the shirt." Somebody else walked up to me like not even 2 minutes later that I know, and they're like, "Can I take a picture of your shirt? Where do you get that?" I'm like, "My website." But it was just hilarious. So when people sit there, just like I don't speak for every white person, there's no way I could. I speak for myself. I speak for a lot of viewers. I think when I go out, I'm representing you guys, not 100%, but to the extent where our base, where our base should be. I've been in this fight for quite a while, but I just love it. I just love it. Like, you see this a lot. I remember with Jason, a black person would say, well, blacks don't. And he'd be like, well, wait a second. You're speaking for me? Somebody that thinks for himself? Just because I'm not on the Democrat plantation, I can think for myself. And it's just amazing. And that's part of the game. The goal is, let's get everybody in this camp right here, right? Now we're all against this. Well, it was kind of interesting, and I would love to go down there. But some of the areas on the border that were over 90% Hispanic on the Texas border, these people that had to see this invasion every day, they had to see their trees cut down for firewood because people were illegally coming into the country, and Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Mayorkas was just allowing it to come. Criminals, stuff missing from their sheds, they dealt with it every day. And they overwhelmingly, major majority vote for Donald Trump in this election. And what you have seen, and we'll get into talking about this here in a little bit, but what you have seen, again, they want to hurt Trump's poll numbers. So take a look at this. If everything you see on TV is negative, there's not camera crews at the border right now saying, we've been out here for 7 hours. We haven't seen one illegal crossing. 3 years ago, if we stood here, we would have seen, I don't know, 400 or 500, because we were there. We know. And what you get is they're only putting out the information to taint Donald Trump. Same thing we've talked about for a long time. Same thing for the first 4 years. The 4 years he wasn't president, no matter what he does, no matter what he accomplishes, they are going to badmouth him. They want, let me see, we're going to 99% negative coverage on CNN, and then we're going to poll our viewers to see what their approval rating of Trump is. I can promise you, that when we go out and that we're talking to people, when I got a MAGA hat on, I can tell you the enthusiasm and the excitement, if not more than it was at election time, is right there, folks. It's right there. But again, this is lying. Again, what she said, if a white person would have said that to a black person, would have been considered racist. And they're trying to revive the race card as well. We got some stuff. How about this? How about this? This is epic. We talked about the Supreme Court. We talked about their ruling where the Department of Education, Trump could continue on with his dismantling of the Department of Education, which was one of my top 5. And I'm going to tell you, is one of my top 5 because, again, those that have been watching for a long time, that's how I really got activated in this movement. I was always one that was political, that when I would hear stuff going on, I would be intrigued by it. I kind of got involved with the Tea Party back in the day, but didn't really go forward in it. But when I started hearing what was going on in the school districts and things that my school district said would never be here, and I was like, listen, if it's happening in San Francisco, it's coming this way. And they were all wrong. I was right. I hate to say that. But I didn't think this could be done so quickly. There's so many things that Trump has done in 6 months. I seen a list yesterday, and we've covered the list. But I'm like, holy cow, I did not. If you would have told me that this was his 4 years, I would have been happy with his 4 years. I really would have. I really would have. Now, there's a lot of things. I was talking to a guy when I was walking out of the gym yesterday, who's like, this guy said, hey, man, I seen you on Fox News a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, yeah. And it was about trans Tifa assaulting me. And we started talking, and he was just more than stoked at what Trump was doing. And one of the comments I made, and I go, still, think about this. We still have 3.5 years left. That is insane. How about this one? Department of Education. And then we got somebody that's going to be crying.
Well, Dana, this is essentially a green light. All systems go for the department to start winding down the agency. That, of course, is President Trump's stated goal. And it's worth looking at the numbers of 4,100 workers at the start of this year at the Department of Education. That is going to be cut in half with this Supreme Court ruling saying that the administration can go forth and do that. And with such a massive reduction, of course, education experts are raising major red flags and really setting off the alarms on how the agency can carry out its duties. So it's worth going back and looking at what exactly the agency does and what it does now. Now, the agency does dole out billions of dollars in federal grants and funding to K through 12 schools. It manages federal student loans. It investigates discrimination through the Office of Civil Rights. It researches reading and math levels, providing important data points on education systems that are in place. And
hold on, I just want to keep this up on what it does. Helps fund K through 12 schools. So none of that's changing. K through 12 schools will still be funded. Manages federal student loans. They've already moved that to another department. Investigates discrimination complaints. We already have a civil rights department. Again, that's null and void. And researches reading and math levels. So I guess what bothers me is that researches reading and math levels. They've seen they've gone down year after year after year after year, and nothing's been done about it. It's just insane.
If they're working, it does not in any way dictate curriculum. It doesn't set it. It doesn't tell teachers in schools what to teach or certify teachers. And it does not establish graduation requirements. Those are all set in school and local school boards at the state level. It's also worth remembering here, Dana, as well, that the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, she has been very clear that these reductions in staff, they're just one part of the larger changes she wants to see to the department. They will move many of the functions to other departments, SBA taking over student loans, special ed, HHS. And today, just a few hours ago, Dana, they announced Department of Labor will take over adult education. So effectively breaking apart, moving the functions to other agency to effectively dismantle their own.
Who's seen this coming, man? I'll tell you what, not this soon. Not this soon. It is July 15th right now. So he was inaugurated. It hasn't even been 6 months. And
I mean, she was literally
nominated after the Supreme Court ruling how, our kids won't be able to read. Our kids won't be able to write. Same things they said when we talked about defunding PBS. Well, if PBS is teaching your kids how to read and write, what do you need the school for? I'm just being facetious here, but it's just crazy. How about this one? Take a listen to this. This is a disgruntled employee.
Emotions, Wolf. First one is disappointment. I'm a lawyer by trade and live for Supreme Court decisions, at least to have reasoning. So, to have the 6 justices just allow this to happen without even explaining their decision is extremely disappointing. Then I go into anger. Anger since the beginning of this administration by the misrepresentation about what we actually do. There's so many statements about returning education to the states. But Wolf, I was a teacher. Education curriculum, teacher quality testing has always been with the states. What our department does and did was fund school districts, fund colleges, fund schools, and fund American citizens who are pursuing their education. And it is extremely anger-inducing that this misrepresentation of what we do and how important our work is perpetuating and is not being corrected even by the highest court of our land. And then I go to sadness. I'm a recipient or product of Title I schools. I'm a recipient of Pell Grants. And I think about there will not be future needs. People who are coming from working class families who want a different way of life, who want to improve their life choices through education. This administration is making it harder. We're already seeing that because they have dismantled or laid our people off. School districts, Title I schools are not getting the grants that they need. Colleges are not getting the medical research that many people depend on. College students are not getting financial aid at all because our people are out of work. And the students that are at schools currently are not receiving the protections of the Office for Civil Rights to make sure that our tax dollars, that schools that receive our tax dollars are doing right by them. And so that makes me incredibly sad, and incredibly sad that that our highest court is allowing this to happen.
Do you know, Cherie?
Cry me a river, sweetheart. And what she was saying, a lot of it's a lie. I have a daughter in college. I can tell you none of those things have been suspended. She just filled out some applications and got some financial aid herself for some books. That's how those things work. And this is just recently. The problem with this whole process is we're going to give it to everyone. You know, when I think about it, I don't have a problem with helping people out get to school. Now, the problem I do have right now is Democrats wanting to put that burden on you because they've already put the burden on you. And now they're going to say, we're going to cancel the school debt. You incurred $42,000 to go and study gender when you could have just called Oreo. He would have told you there's two genders, male and female. And then, well, they're not finding jobs out there. I can promise you, I got a son who's 24. I got a daughter who's going to be 19 next month. All their friends are doing very well when it comes to those who have graduated college. They find a job instantly. It might not be something perfect, but it's a foot in the door to their future paths and career. All these people, I don't know, you before you go to college, I get it. Some people want to do some weird stuff, man, but there's demand. You can look like if I go to college tomorrow, I can look a list of demands where they are short on workers, whether it's nursing, whether it's computer tech, whether it's AI programming, whatever it is. And I can sit here and say, well, they don't have enough people fill these positions. That's what I'm going to school for. But yeah, cry me a river. I seen this and I thought it was great. I actually put it in the headline of the live stream. It looks like Obama scolded the Democrats over the weekend at this little this party, this little fundraiser where he was speaking. And he was desperately pleading with Democrats to toughen up. I mean, I think Obama is looking at the Democrat Party and like, pardon my language, but he's like, stop bitching and whining. Get out there and do something. Great. All you're doing is, oh, Trump's bad. Orange man bad. You did that 2016. It didn't help. You did that all the way through 2020 to 2024. It got him elected again. It's probably not working. You can tell Obama is probably like to his wits end, like, even as pansy as Obama is, he's like, this party's in trouble. Take a listen to MSNBC on this topic. This is great.
Probably be good for all of us.
And now to U.S. politics. President Barack Obama delivered a dose of tough love to Democrats at a private DNC fundraiser over the weekend. Obama urged Democrats in despair over the state of the country to toughen up and do something. NBC News obtained excerpts of Obama's remarks from the president's team, which read in part this. I think it's going to require a little bit less navel-gazing, a little less whining, and being in fetal positions. It's going to require Democrats to just toughen up. Obama went on to say he wasn't surprised by what President Trump has done, but that he has been surprised by Democrats who, quote, stood for all kinds of stuff, who seem like they're kind of cowed and intimidated and shrinking away from just asserting what they believe, or at least what they said they believe. The former president pressed liberals to stop wallowing in disappointment and take action, saying, quote, "What's being asked of us is make some effort to stand up for the things that you think are right and be willing to be a little bit uncomfortable in defense of your values. If we do our jobs over the next year and a half, then I think we will rebuild momentum and we will position ourselves to get this country moving in the direction it should."
Some tough love there, Gene Robinson, but there have been examples. For instance, I brought it up on this show, USAID. When I talked to Democrats about fighting for USAID, talking about it every day, they said, Americans don't really like foreign aid. Maybe we better stay with it. No, you've got the richest billionaire in the world shutting down relief funding for the poorest children in the world, for the poorest of God's creatures.
So when Obama tells you, hey, toughen up. Now, there's a lot of whining. We're going to play a video of Dollar Store Obama. Nothing Democrats go out and cry about are making your lives any easier. They're the ones responsible for the prices you are paying that are 30, 40% higher right now because of Bidenflation. They didn't say a word when your cereal went from $3.99 a box to $5.99 a box. That they were silent. It's not going on. It's not going on. Now they rush to find something that's went up 2 cents and say, oh my God, what was it? It was eggs. Remember, eggs, all because Biden killed off all those chickens because he couldn't handle dealing with the bird flu. He was incompetent. I just bought 60 eggs last week at Costco, $9.96 for 60 eggs. Thank you to the Trump administration for fixing another one of Biden's failures. But this is what I mean. And listen to, again, instead of focusing on things that I get it. There is and it's probably more of a percentage than we give credit to, but there is a large portion of the Democrat Party, unfortunately, that is beyond woke. Most of it's the white liberal. And they want boys and girls sports. Like when some of these colleges gave in and said, okay, you're right, we're not going to put men and women's sports. Oh my God, I can't believe you, but nobody should be donating to you. Like, wait a second. Are you serious? That's the hill you're going to die on? Listen to Chris Cuomo and listen to what he says. Because again, like we've been saying, Orange Man bad. Let's just attack Trump. Oh, he closed the border. What was it? The Dollar Store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries said, do you give credit? This was on a Sunday morning show like 2 weeks ago. Do you give credit for Trump securing the border? He said, no. It's Trump derangement syndrome, folks. Listen to this one. Put it up on the screen here for you.
I don't give a fuck how many likes you get on your comments by hating Trump, because it doesn't win the race. 44%. That's what just happened. Trump sucks, doesn't win the race. My frustration is with you thinking you keep doing the same thing, which is just pound on this fucking guy, which is easy enough to do, but you don't win the race. So now what you're doing is doubling down on Trump sucks by outrage and making your own MAGA. I don't think it's going to work for Democrats. I think you're making a mistake paying attention to AOC and this new deference to radical left and radical fundamentalist and radical Islamist sympathies. I think it's a huge fucking mistake. You are once again valuing the few over the many. And if you think trans sports got you in a pickle, you're about to be in a whole bucket of brine.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We talked about it after Election Day. Are they going to double down? And that's all they've done. Not a fan of Chris Cuomo. Not a fan at all. But he calls it out. Calls it out. I mean, just sitting there, and we see the number one culprit in all this recently over at least the last 8 weeks is Gavin Newsom. I can pull up his governor's thread, his private page, and his governor's page. And all he's trying to do is troll Trump. That's it. That's his whole thing. Between that and going on what he calls right-wing podcasts. And we actually got a couple video clips that we didn't play yesterday that I'm going to show you today, again, of the failed governor. But first, let's listen to the whining. Let's listen to the whining everybody's talking about. This is Dollar Store Obama right here.
Those choices should be made by the voters in Texas alone, not Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, Governor Abbott, or MAGA extremists who want to manipulate the election, which will have an adverse impact on the quality of life of the people of Texas. We are unified. I'm thankful for the leadership of the members of the Texas delegation who are fighting on behalf of their constituents and every single resident in the great state of Texas. All of us should be focused on rescue, relief, and rebuilding, not egregious redistricting of the Texas congressional map as part of an effort to undermine free and fair elections in Texas and in the United States of America.
Oh, man, they care so much about elections. They care about rigging elections. That's what Democrats care about. But what do you say? Extreme MAGA. Where does he say that? I'm just going to play it in the background, see how he says it.
Governor Abbott or MAGA extremists who...
MAGA extremist is what he says. People that are extreme on making America great again. Think about that. He does not want America great again. He wants the failed policies of the last 4 years that brought in up to 21 million illegals that are living off your tax dollars, folks. He wants the cost to go up 40, 50, 60%. He doesn't want gas prices to go lower. This man has been lying since Trump's been in office. Go to the store, look at your prices. We go to the store and we pay attention to prices. I'm a numbers guy. And I can tell you whether it's Costco, Food for Less, Save Mart, it's less expensive now than it was just 7 months ago. And there's a lot of work that's got to be done. But think about it. Everything Trump does to help out the American people, they obstruct him on. They sue him on. They delay it. Because, again, they have nothing to run on for the midterm elections. And, again, I brought up...
Want to manipulate.
I brought up the fact that they are trying to revive the race card. Well, how about this brainiac right here?
The state is a majority.
Sorry. I mean, I'll be honest. Out of everybody I have to play for you guys, I know some of y'all like, oh, I can't watch Joe Biden. I'll be on the next show. I can't watch. You know, I mean, even you guys even put up my favorite show is The View because I got to show the stupidity of the left. But I don't think in my time doing this, and I'm just being honest, I don't think there's been anybody dumber than Jasmine Crockett. Nobody more of a race baiter. I mean, she's very similar to Al Sharpton. And as they try to revive the race card, take a listen.
And said clearly that Texas has been found to be intentionally discriminatory. And so I want y'all to understand the makeup of my state. The state is a majority minority state. And what this legislature historically has done is what they plan to do again, is to dilute the voices of people of color in order to make sure that they can get to where they're trying to go. We saw this Department of Justice decided to put out a letter. And what did they do? We only have 4 seats that are represented by Black folk, where the vast majority of the people that get to decide who they have represent them are Black. They decided to attack 3 of the 4 seats that we have in the state. They decided to go after a Latina. They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say, we are going to dilute minority voices. So we know that the courts, ever since we've had a Voting Rights Act, have always found this state to be intentionally discriminatory. That is what they are going to do. So I need people of color to understand that the scheme of the Republicans has consistently been to make sure that they mute our voices so that they can go ahead and have an oversized say in this. So I fully anticipate that's exactly where they're going with this map. It's the only way to do it. We didn't understand how we got to the map that they gave us last time because that state was grown by 95% people of color. They went out of their way to make sure that we got 0 new seats for people of color. So that's exactly what they're going to do this time.
Man, so racist. I'm telling you, that's all they can do. They're whining and complaining about this today. And they always say that. If you ask for voter ID so we can prove who's voting in our federal elections, that's racist. That's discriminatory. You're trying to remember the whole thing. Black people can't get IDs. They were saying that for years. Which is very discriminatory. I don't know. I know a lot of black folks, and all of them have IDs. All of them have jobs. All of them pay taxes. It's not the Democrat perception of a black person. You know, they're not all George Floyd's there. It's just crazy how really demeaning Democrats are. I mean, this is a black person that will say the same thing, that it is racist to have voter ID laws. They talk about all these other countries. And all these other countries they talk about have voter ID laws. But again, they're going to revive the race card. They're going to do everything they can. One other thing is, so the Carmelo Anthony case, the one in Texas at the high school track meet where he stabbed to death a white kid. Some people are saying that they're purposely putting this case in June of next year because they have a feeling that Carmelo Anthony will be convicted of murder and that will cause race riots prior to the midterm elections. I don't know. From the people that I think have the insights, I don't see how he can get off. Again, you don't just stab somebody to death. That was a stupid thing, a crazy thing, maybe an immature thing. I don't know what was going through his head. But we've already seen the people try to play it like he was the victim, and he wasn't. So we'll see how that turns out. I can't believe that's almost 11 months away for that trial. You know what's interesting? We're going to play a couple Gavin videos in a minute, but the California Senate passed SB 549. I haven't talked about it, but this is one of those things that was everything that Democrats said they wouldn't do to LA because of the fires. They are starting to do. And they're trying to lie about it. But SB 549 grants LA County the authority to purchase the fire-destroyed properties at minimal cost and convert them into low-income housing, which directly contradicts Gavin Newsom's previous assurance to homeowners that such government-driven property conversions wouldn't happen. We kind of told you it would happen if they could get away with it. And again, that's what they want. They want what they call affordable housing, which a lot of people either call the projects, the slums. It doesn't work out very well. I know it's amazing what Gavin Newsom has done. If you've worked hard and you've put yourself in a great area to raise your family, he wants to, let's put a 5-story apartment complex and make people pay $150 a month rent. I'm sure we're going to get some real winners out of the deal. And again, I'm not bashing people that don't have the money to live in certain neighborhoods. But what I'm saying, throughout my life, for people that have worked for me, and I've employed quite a few people that worked under me, and I've got to see those that didn't last too long, those that had a problem in other areas of their life. A lot of, not all, but a lot of low-income people have a low income mentality, they will never make it the way they think. That's why so many people, and again, our government subsidizes them. That's why they have the EBT, the cash aid, the Section 8 housing. I've talked to many people. Even I've told you a story about that girl I worked with. And she was only working part-time. I was like, we need you full-time. Have you talked to so-and-so about that? Nah, you know what? If I work full-time, they'll take away some of my assistants. But you would be making more money than your assistants. Yeah, nah. And that's just the world we live in now. Speaking of the world we live in, this is key provisions to that bill. It amends a section of the government code and gives priority housing occupancy to displaced low-income households, followed by those with members employed within 2 miles of the district. It all has to do with kind of like the 15-minute cities or the 10-minute cities, whatever we covered back in the day. It says it creates a special authority to coordinate, accelerate, and streamline recovery in wildfire-affected areas in Los Angeles County. So they want to streamline, not you building your home, not that business on Pacific Coast Highway reopening sooner rather than later, but it's going to jump up and streamline the recovery efforts for low-income housing. That's unfortunate. Listen to this. So yesterday we played some of Gavin Newsom on the Sean Ryan podcast. Again, I wasn't impressed. No, it was like, how can I say it? It was almost like, hey, I have this platform and you can get away with saying anything you want on here and it'll go out to millions of people. They'll all see it. You won't get no back talk. You won't get any fact checks. And it was just weird like that. Listen to this. This has to do with COVID. If you remember, we had masked Gestapos. Those are police officers here in California that were arresting people for jogging on the beach. Yes, you were jogging on the beach. A masked Gestapo came up and arrested you because we were in COVID lockdowns. I'm using their words against them. But
And so I'll answer that question by telling you what I've just tasked.
So this is from Joe Rogan.
Oh, God.
This is a tough one.
He won't have me on the show, by the way.
Who will be held for mandating COVID-19 vaccines for children, which were unnecessary and ineffective? And who will take responsibility for the unprecedented increases in myocarditis and cancer cases among them? Second to that, do you feel any remorse for that draconian decision that was obviously heavily influenced by the pharmaceutical companies' desire for maximum profit?
Yeah, I've signed some of the most progressive laws against big pharma in the country. So
you see, get to it, Gavin.
I have receipts on that. So no one should suggest that it was about doing the bidding of big pharma. Quite the contrary. California, like many states, red states included, Florida included, moved forward early in the pandemic, working with the Trump administration and the advisors from the Trump administration to impose certain strategies to mitigate the impacts of this novel disease, coronavirus. What's interesting about this process is none of us have really reviewed in an objective way. It's all through the lens of politics.
So he said the same statement about 2 years ago, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, that we haven't really, hindsight's 2020. We can all be our armchair quarterbacks, but we haven't went back and looked at this and researched it. He's saying the same things now.
What we did right and what we did wrong. And so I'll answer that question by telling you what I've just tasked. I've asked our team to put together an objective review of everything we did right, everything we did wrong. We're interviewing people that vehemently disagree with us, that oppose the mask mandates, that oppose the stay-at-home orders, people that are international experts. We're stress testing our entire process. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Comparing and contrasting to what other states did. I mean, Florida shut down their bars and restaurants before California.
The question was, when did we start to unwind some of those restrictions? California was more restrictive, and we were certainly aggressive at scale. As it relates to vaccines save lives. But Joe asked a very different question about children, and I respect that. And that was where there was a lot of feedback with a lot of experts that I had as advisors. By the way, I used advisors from 2 other states. We did this West Coast Alliance to review not just what was coming from the federal government, but to have a prism and lens on the recommendations coming from the CDC through our own independent advisors. And I took their advice, not as a doctor, but as a governor. So with humility, seriously, humility and grace, I've asked them to have that report done. It's going to be done next month. And it'll be the only state that I know of that is putting out a truly objective review of what went right and what went wrong.
Bottom line, if you are the governor of the state, everything falls back on you. If I'm a CEO of a company, I can't blame, well, our shipping receiving guy's been doing this for months. Well, you've known about your shipping receiving guy. He also lied. He's also one of the biggest liars I know. I can remember, I don't do it very often unless I'm out in a crowd and things are getting heated. But I remember doing the live stream, dropping F-bombs, when he said he was signing a directive that all children must be COVID-19 vaccinated as part of their immunization records to be registered for school. And it was only after all this blowback, I mean, literally, people on his side were going crazy. Like, wait a second, you don't need an advisor to tell you that children were not affected by COVID-19. And he keeps bringing up Florida. That's an absolute lie. He's tried all this before. Ron DeSantis mopped him up with the truth. California was using backhoes and buckets to fill in skate parks at the beach, the things that people needed to do to get exercise and clean air. I don't care what advisor you're going to. If you have half a brain, you know this stuff was wrong. Everything in California was wrong. How about the 10 p.m. curfew? COVID travels more after 10 p.m., guys. How'd that work out for you? How about the fact that were your advisors like porn stars or what? Because you closed down churches and you kept adult stores and liquor stores open. This is the man right here that's trying, well, we're going to do a little of this and a little of that. And no, it falls on you, Gavin. Bottom line, start manning up and having some accountability. He even tried to bring the Trump administration in there. When Gavin was bashing Trump during that time, remember when Trump would go places without masks? Gavin would bash him. How dare he come out to the White House balcony and give a press conference without a mask? Yet this man was sitting in 5-star restaurants while California was locked down and we were told we couldn't even, what was it? We even had some local politicians. Was it Arias? Was it commie Arias that had a limit and people could turn you in if you had too many people over at your house on like Thanksgiving or Christmas? We lived through this, folks. We lived through some of the craziest times. And Gavin Newsom, instead of having any accountability, if you remember, we held the reopen, me, Ben Berquam, and our group of folks held the reopen rally at City of Fresno. There was a couple supervisors there. I think Gary Bredefield was there. And that's when Miguel Arias came out of his office to try to stir up the pot out there. And we were out there. And I said, so you're okay with shutting down businesses, closing them down forever? And Miguel says, yeah, I am. Yeah, because you're a commie piece of trash. Let's listen to the last couple seconds, and then we'll get to the next one. Next one's kind of interesting, too.
And I know everyone's a goddamn genius now in hindsight. But at the time, none of us knew what we were up against, including the President of the United States, who I worked very closely with.
Well, actually, there was a lot of people that knew things. They were being blocked from even expressing their views on Facebook and YouTube, and you never stood up for them. You were actually part of that team that was blocking them. When they were telling the truth about ivermectin, you were sharing out the tweets it was horse paste. Think about this. This man is not going, he's trying to rebrand himself because he's looking at 2028. And we don't need a steak oil salesman in the White House. Could you imagine if we California'd the United States? It's bad enough that this cancer spreads. I mean, the whole West Coast is infected right now. It's moved into parts of Arizona. It's moved into parts of your state. Could you imagine how bad that would be? But listen to the next one. This one's interesting too. So in California, oh, there's another one I need to do. I'll pull that one up next. So in California, you know, the state could take away your child from you if Johnny wants to be Juliet. And you say, no, this is not right. Let's get you some help. Nope, the state's going to intervene. Well, listen to this one. And listen
now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man. I get it.
What about for your values? I mean, is 8 years old?
Talking about sex changes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man. I get it. So those are legit. You know, it's interesting. Just the issue of age. I haven't. I'm as someone that's been so focused on equality, broadly LGBT rights, particularly gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
The trans issue for me is also novel. It's over the last few years. I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else. Whole pronoun thing, trying to understand all of that. What, you know, that was.
But now he's against pronouns. Listen to this again. Hold on, grab your popcorn. Old Uncle Bill better be taking a big sip of coffee right now. Listen to this.
What about for your values? I mean, is 8 years old?
Is 8 years old too young for a sex change?
Yeah, I mean, look, I now that I have a 9-year-old, just became 9. Come on, man. I get it. So those are legit. You know, it's interesting. Just the issue of age. I haven't. I'm as someone that's been so focused on equality, broadly LGBT rights, particularly gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
The trans issue for me is also novel. It's over the last few years. I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else. Whole pronoun thing, trying to understand all of that. What, you know, that was like the hell. I mean, all that stuff. I get it. All this stuff started to collapse on us. I joked with Charlie about Latinx. You know,
man. Let me see if I can find this other one really quick. If not, if I can't find it quick, we'll move on. What was it? Let's see if I just pull it up. These are. Is this it? No. There's a lot of videos. Trying to rewrite history. Everybody's putting the picture of him up at that nice restaurant, the nice winery. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. If I find it for the next show, I'll just do a quick one. Let's see. But I think let's see, is it this one? All right, yeah, we'll move on. But wow, what What an incredible. Jay keeps asking, just gifted a subscription, and old Uncle Bill gifted a subscription a little while ago. Thank you guys for your continued support. We are 100% viewer funded. If you guys would like to help out, you can help us out with either gifting subscriptions, Rumble rants. Also, we have Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. And we have givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And if you do Zelle or mobile or online banking and want to do a Zelle transfer, our Zelle address is on our website. Our website is theoreoexpress.com. And you guys can go over there. There's a donate now button on our homepage, and click that. It'll have those links, and we appreciate you. So Donald Trump tweeted this out, or truthed this out this morning. Take a look at this. It says, I have always suspected Shifty Adam Schiff was a scam artist. And now I learned that Fannie Mae's Financial Crimes Division has concluded that Adam Schiff has engaged in a sustained pattern of possible mortgage fraud. Adam Schiff said that his primary residence was in Maryland to get cheaper mortgage and rip off America, when he must live in California because he was a congressman from California. I always knew Adam Schiff was a crook. The fraud began with the free finance of his Maryland property on February 6, 2009, and continued through multiple transactions until the Maryland property was correctly designated as a second home on October 13, 2020. Mortgage fraud is very serious, and crooked Adam Schiff, now a senator, needs to be brought to justice. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath, but isn't it funny that something very similar to what Trump was charged with, this is mortgage fraud. We just seen, was it Letitia James being charged with stuff as well? All these people that we're going to get Trump, were actually the criminals themselves. This actually, when Trump, what he did, they said he inflated his assets. And they only appraised his Mar-a-Lago estate at, what was it, $18 million? Like anybody in their right mind would pay triple that for that, and just for an investment property to resell it. But now you have Shifty Adam Schiff being a scam artist. And again, I just think this goes to show the hypocrisy of the left. It goes to show 99.9, 100% of the time, when Democrats are pointing at Republicans and say they're doing this, the finger turns right back on them. And I hope something comes out of this. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I hope something comes out of this. That would be absolutely excellent. Really quick, let me throw this up on the screen here. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your start. The 1775 starter kit has dropped. You're going to get the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. That's $170 worth of coffee and gear, guys. Yours for only $99. This is for the new ones out there that have been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, asking if it's worth it. Spoiler alert, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe in. Go check them out, guys. 1775coffee.com, and give them a shot. And we appreciate Rumble. We appreciate what they're doing for us. So we are grateful. How about this? This is Langone, I think is how they say his last name, the former CFO of Home Depot. I read on all this morning, but sometimes I forget stuff. Here, let's listen to this. Because, the sky is falling according to Democrats. The sky is falling.
Look, let me tell you right now, I am sold on Trump. In fact, I'll say this. I think he's got a good shot at going down in history as one of our best presidents ever.
That is a real turnaround because you didn't want to vote for him.
I tell you the reason. I want to tell you, I'm a believer. What I'm seeing happening is absolutely nothing short of a great thing. And there's a beat. People are walking with more bounce in there. It's all around.
I gave you quite a bit of grief.
Huh?
I gave you grief.
You give me grief?
I gave you grief when it was a binary choice. You're still complaining about Trump and it was a binary choice. It's like, are you kidding me?
Knowledge implies one thing. When you made a mistake, admit it.
Okay.
I think this guy is turning out to be a president.
Right.
One of the pilots on that miraculous trip to Iran that we wiped out, whatever the hell we wiped out.
Right.
He said, you're the only guy that in the presidency that would have done what you did. One of the pilots said that.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's probably right.
Probably right. Probably right. And we haven't been hearing anything about Iran either. I thought that was going to be World War III. Check this out. The Trump administration tweeted this today, and it's Make America Healthy Again wins. MAHA wins. I want to put this up on the screen because we like to brag about this. We need to be healthier. Take a look at this. Just some of the companies that have agreed because of our Make America Healthy Again to make you a little healthier. Steak and Shake moved to 100% beef tallow and replace seed oils. McCormick dropping food dyes and reformulating certain products. PepsiCo will remove artificial ingredients from popular food items. In-N-Out will remove red dye and yellow 5 and artificial flavors. Tyson's Foods eliminated synthetic dyes. Skittles removed titanium dioxide from Skittles. Sam's Club committing to removing 40 harmful ingredients from all its brands. Kraft Heinz will remove artificial dyes from U.S. products. General Mills will remove dyes from U.S. cereals and schools. Nestle will remove all petroleum-based food dyes. ConAgra Foods will remove certified food, drug, and cosmetic colors. J.M. Smucker will remove synthetic colors from its food products. Hershey's will remove synthetic dyes from its snacks. Consumer Brands encourage members to remove artificial colors. International Dairy Foods eliminate the use of artificial colors. Guys, this is all, again, I can't keep repeating this because I've been reflecting on it today. This has all happened in 6 months. There's all kind of noise going on right now because Democrats don't want you to focus on what's been done and what's going to happen. If this is 6 months, can you imagine what 3.5 more years are going to look like? Now, this is with all the obstructions. This is going on behind the scenes with Democrats screaming and crying. Everybody's going to lose their Medicaid. Everybody's going to lose their Social Security. There is so much going on right now. And it's just wonderful, wonderful to see. And again, we need victory laps, guys, because it's actually making a difference. So Axios came out. I love this when DHS fact checks. Axios says Trump's new wall, his push to oust immigrants legally in the U.S. So, again, what a headline. You mean there's immigrants legally here that we're kicking out? Like you came over legally. You did the process and now oh, no, that's not it. What you're talking about is what we've talked about, temporary protection status, hence the word temporary. Since 1999, there's been people on temporary protection status here in the United States. Think about that. Think about it. It's 2025, folks. That's 26 years. Trump has ended many of those temporary protection statuses. So Axios wants to call those immigrants legally in the U.S. like somehow they did the right thing. They were brought here temporary, should have only been here for a couple years, if that. And now we're actually going to removed that temporary status. It wasn't permanent. It wasn't permanent status. And it says Homeland Security said temporary protected status was designed for just that, temporary. Granted for 18 months under extraordinary circumstances, it was never meant to last a quarter of a century. For many of those countries, TPS was granted in the 90s after natural disasters. Now that conditions have improved, it's time to return home. President Trump and Secretary Noem are restoring integrity to our immigration system and ensuring that TPS remains temporary. Gotta love the fake news stories, though. How about this? We hear a lot about fake news. DHS put this up, and I thought this was great. They're doing this every other day or so. But it says, the fake news refuses to cover it, but DHS is removing the worst of the worst, including gang members, murderers, rapists, and pedophiles. Here are just a few criminally legal aliens removed from your communities yesterday. ICE Dallas arrested Jose Valentina Romo, a 28-year-old citizen of Mexico. Romo's criminal history includes a conviction for assault causing bodily injury in Austin, Texas. ICE Boston arrested Angel Perez, a 38-year-old citizen of Honduras. Perez's criminal history includes convictions for sex acts with a minor, sexual contact with a minor, and risk of injury to a child in Danbury, Connecticut. ICE Dallas arrested Alan Lopez, 39-year-old of Honduras. Amaya's criminal history includes conviction for sexual intercourse with a minor in Santa Ana, California. ICE New Orleans arrested Omar Gallegos Garcia, a 47-year-old citizen of Mexico. Gallegos' criminal history includes 15 convictions and 24 criminal arrests, including the conviction for assault in Chattanooga, Tennessee. How about New Orleans? Let's go over to New Orleans. Jose Padilla, a 45-year-old citizen of El Salvador's criminal history includes convictions of rape of a child, statutory rape as an authority figure, and aggravated sexual battery with the victim under 13 years old in Davidson County, Tennessee. These are just a small fraction. And again, Trump's not going to get credit. The mainstream media aren't going to report on this. They're going to talk about the pedophiles, murderers, rapists, and everybody else that is being deported back to their home. Because this is not their home. Just because you broke in doesn't make it yours. And we're seeing a lot of that. And we're seeing a lot of encourage of violence. Listen to Maxwell Frost here. Says that it's kind of funny. I should have brought it up because we seen Biden actually human trafficking people. We were at the border. We seen the vans waiting when they got there. We seen the food supplies and the water that Border Patrol had to give them when they were playing Uber. Then they would go to a facility where they were working with NGOs to transport these people across the country with your tax dollars. Take a listen to Alejandro. I'm sorry, Maxwell. I almost called him Alejandro Mayorkas. He sounds just as bad, right? Take a listen. This is funny.
We have ICE federal agents terrorizing our communities, hopping out of unmarked vans, stealing and, yes, kidnapping people, not giving them their day in court, and, yes, human trafficking them to other nations, other countries around the entire world.
Human trafficking to other nations across the world. I mean, I don't see how a moderate can look at what Democrats are saying right now and trust them with anything else they say. But then again, I don't think moderates have the independents could sit there and say, yeah, that's what he's doing. How about Rob Bonta? Rob Bonta, Attorney General of California, the one who wants to take your kids away if you don't trans them. How about that guy? ICE is sending out masked agents to carry out enforcement operations. It's unacceptable. As California's top law enforcement official, I'm calling on Congress to advance legislation to ensure that federal agents properly identify themselves. Transparency and accountability are foundation of good law enforcement work. And what the whole reason this is so they can dox ICE officers, they can intimidate them, they can make them feel less comfortable by going out and doing the job that they're doing. And ICE is doing not only an incredible job, but a very important job for the sustainability of this country. I know we can't get all these illegals that come in. Let's just focus on the ones that came in under Biden, 15 to 21 million. We're getting 10,000 new ICE officers. They have another thing coming if they think they're going to slow down this administration. Again, this is all rhetoric. This is all talking points. What is Rob Bonta doing to bring down crime in California? Nothing. He's making parents criminals just like they did when you guys were at school board meetings. How about this one? We got another one.
Different priorities.
This is Senator Dick Durbin. Listen to what he says. Funny how he's worried about priorities right now, but let's see what he has to say.
Federal law enforcement also has an important role to play, but we must acknowledge this administration has announced different priorities. Instead of combating crimes like I described, the Trump administration has diverted critical resources toward the president's mass deportation agenda. Homeland Security Investigations, better known as HSI, plays a leading role in combating criminal networks and organized crime, including organized retail theft. But under this administration, HSI has been diverted toward rounding up immigrants, many of whom pose no threat whatsoever to this country.
There might be some, quote, illegal aliens. They're not immigrants. There might be some illegal aliens that are 5 times better person than I am. Doesn't make them a legal citizen. And again, this is the same party that says nobody is above the law, folks. They said that for the last 4 years on repeat as they tried to convince the American people that somehow Trump was some bad person. America watched as he was politically persecuted and said, you know what? I'm going to stand with that guy. I'm voting for the convicted felon. And they haven't figured it out yet. They think their tactics are going to work. They're not working. They are not working. See what else we got here. We're almost done here. Where are we at? 122. Perfect timing. So how about this? Rhode Island Democrat State Representative Enrique for Rhode Island calls ICE Nazi Gestapo thugs in a social media post criticizing ICE's kidnapping of our neighbor in Providence, Rhode Island, which he calls an act of terror, adding that Providence doesn't want ICE thugs in our city. The neighbor ended up being an MS-13 gang member facing fentanyl charges. Sanchez posted a series of photos alleging that ICE damaged vehicles during the arrest. I reached out to ICE contacts to ask what happened here. 3 ICE sources with knowledge of this incident tells Fox News. ICE was targeting a Honduran-known MS-13 gang member, Ivan Rene Mendoza Meza, who had pending local charges in Rhode Island for fentanyl trafficking and had been released from local custody with ICE's detainer ignored due to sanctuary policies. I'm told it was the 6th District Court in Rhode Island that ignored ICE's detainer. When ICE agent attempted a traffic stop to arrest Mendoza, he struck ICE vehicles before bailing out of his car and running into an apartment. He was surrounded and eventually surrendered. I'm told it was the ICE vehicles and his own car that were damaged. A photo of smirking Mendoza Meza in ICE custody is below, courtesy of the ICE sources. In a statement to Fox, ICE is blasting Rep. Enrique Sanchez for his social media post, calling ICE Nazi Gestapo thugs over the incidents, which were posted on Instagram, Facebook, and X. Mr. Sanchez thinks so little of his community, he refers to ruthless MS-13 members as neighbors. What say you, Providence? The only thugs we see are the illegal terrorist gangbangers we are trying to remove from the neighborhoods. And this is the cuck boy that's calling them Gestapos and everything. And then you can see here, there's the damage. It says the Nazi Gestapo ICE thug kidnapped another one of our neighbors. So this guy fled from law enforcement, crashed his car, and this person here that's calling ICE Gestapos and Nazis, I just find it funny. But you know, the great thing, see that smug little look right there? Let me see if I can pull that up a little more. Put that up there like that. That smug little look, he's going to be going back home. He's going to be going back home. He could take that smug little look with him. And then I think, what was this one? An act of terror. Progressive Rhode Island lawmaker Enrique for Rhode Island unleashes a heinous Nazi Gestapo insult at ICE.gov after agents arrested his neighbors. But officials turned the table on the far left department with a brutal reality check. Listen to this. I see. I think this is...
In February, he was arrested for DUI, caught on body cam. He later...
Let me refresh this. That's your Rhode Island representative. There's the MS-13.
In February, he was arrested for DUI, caught on body cam. He later pleaded down to a traffic violation. And in 2023, Sanchez pushed a House bill that would allow residents, regardless of immigration status, to vote in municipal elections. That bill did not get very far. It was tabled.
So he's an open borders act. He wants illegal aliens to vote in municipality elections. This is what we're up against, guys. People that want to destroy the country we love, destroy the country as we know.
In February, he was arrested for DUI, caught.
So we will be live later. I have to. One of my phones went bad. You see it? Look, it won't. It's just bright. It won't do anything. It got some water in it. So I got to run to the phone store here in a little bit. So we're going to see how much a replacement phone cost. And hopefully we can get that taken care of. This is my main phone. And man, they're supposed to be waterproof. But we'll see how that goes. So I should be on about 3. If not, I'll be on within 30, 45 minutes. I don't know how long it's going to take at the phone store, how much it's going to cost. So we'll figure that out. But I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for sharing out the live. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. We appreciate you. It helps get the video out to more people, brings more people to the Oreo Army, and just want to say thank you for that. If you do want to donate, we appreciate it. We could use your help as always. You can donate. We are 100% viewer funded, so you can donate to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And also, if you do mobile or online banking, you can head over to our website, theoreoexpress.com. And when you do that, on our homepage, we have a donate now button. That'll get you the Zelle links so you could do the transfer. It also has our other links in there. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and we will see you here in a little while. Let me get that off there. Is where I want to go, and have a good afternoon.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillow is only $14.98. Queens, $18.98. King size, only $1 more. Body pillows, $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase, $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud. Shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land.